So here we talk about Usher, Diddy, and Justin Bieber. Grooming or trauma bonding? It's going to be a question posed on the screen while this is playing. Let me put it up so everybody will be able to see it. There we go. So y'all pay attention to that question as well while we play this video.
Signed to a guy named L.A. Reid, this famous music executive. Usher then loses his voice. L.A. Reid wants to help him, get back on track, so he sends him over to this guy named Puff Daddy. And as you can imagine, Usher had a problem. He just didn't know it yet. See, Puff Daddy was this up-and-coming music executive who could really turn someone into a star. He put them through this thing called Flavor Camp. And during Usher's term in this Flavor Camp, he lived with Puff. And in Usher's words, he would see questionable things. He said at any given time, you can open the door and see a bunch of random people playing Netflix. He said he would be up all night partying when all he really wanted to do was go to the studio. And this is when people speculate that Diddy did something to Usher. Now, I need you to listen to me. I'm going to give you the evidence as to why people believe this. But until you hear words from Usher, Diddy, Justin Bieber, nobody knows anything. All right. So Diddy and Usher are in an interview with Kevin Hart. Diddy said, "Hey, yo, pause. When Usher used to live with me, we used to wrestle for Frosted Flakes." Kevin Hart said, "What?" Diddy said, and he grabs Kevin Hart and pulls him off camera because Kevin Hart doesn't have a filter. After Diddy's Flavor Camp, Usher comes out with an album called Usher. It has really explicit details about watching Netflix. Everybody's like, nah, this is uncomfortable. And people actually did not like the album because his young voice talking about those details really threw people off. And of course, the album was executively produced by Puff Daddy. His mom was like, yo, what the? So she grabs Usher. You got former bodyguards coming out saying, yeah, Diddy was very inappropriate with Usher. There's a rumor that Usher got sent to the hospital because of an encounter with Diddy. In fact, rumors have been circulating for like 20 years about this situation, which brings us to Usher and Justin Bieber. See, Justin Bieber was coming up in the same way Usher was, like when he was super young. L.A. Reid again found Justin Bieber. Usher and Justin Timberlake both wanted to sign Bieber, but Bieber chooses Usher, and Usher basically becomes a mentor. Now, Usher then sends a young Bieber to Diddy for 48 hours. And in this interview, Diddy's saying stuff like, man, Justin is doing things that any 15-year-old would dream of doing. And the thing that's always kind of annoyed me about Diddy personally is he's always towing this imaginary line in interviews. Because of his ego, he has been snitching on himself in interviews. If you listen, he'll say something like, Justin be having a really good time with me. If no one acknowledges it, he'll be like, I can't say too much. You know what I'm saying? But like a really good time. I can't say too much stuff. You feel me? And he'll do this like throughout the whole interview. But here's the thing about Justin Bieber. He's been insanely harassed by the entertainment industry over the years. In fact, Justin Bieber comes out with a song about it where he's not just talking about one person. He's talking about the whole industry. In fact, Justin Bieber starts crying in an interview when Billie Eilish's name is brought up. He says that he wants to protect her and young people in the industry so they won't go through what he went through. And here's where it gets very wicked. Something you got to understand is the music industry is known for being very wicked. We just talked about Billie Eilish, right? Well, somebody got to her too. She eventually tells her brother, and her brother gets the person fired. We're talking about Billie Eilish. Matter of fact, Taylor Swift even came out and said something happened to her too. And I need you to think about that for a second. The industry has the audacity.
So there you have it. You have Usher, Diddy, Justin Bieber. We all know the stories about Justin Bieber. We all have seen him lately in the public eye. Some days he looks great. Some days he looks bad. It all depends on where he's at. So my question for everybody tonight is this situation more grooming or trauma bonding? And then the question on the screen says, if grooming changes the relationship and trauma bonding changes the attachment, can exploitation become so normalized that it feels like loyalty?
Is it really trauma bonding though? Because I say that because Usher coming in, Bieber coming in, they're not bringing trauma with them. They're young. So is Diddy with his trauma? Trying to see where I'm going with this. Is Diddy pushing his trauma or bonding with them over his trauma?
I see what you're saying. But now I'm thinking about, did you watch the Diddy documentary?
Yes, but I don't retain no information for
Oh,
stuff like that.
okay. But when you think about Diddy's documentary, right?
Mhm.
Diddy was very competitive because he wasn't always considered like the most attractive guy. Remember,
Right.
he wanted to take the girl that old boy had, the light skinned dude from the barge.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
so, like when you think about like the things, the bullying or whatever you want to call it, that Diddy actually experienced, like while he was trying to get his way up into the industry,
Mhm.
those things, in my opinion, could create trauma that then you start to pass that trauma down to other people through grooming.
Okay.
You see
Yeah.
what I mean? Like his trauma, he turned his trauma into grooming. Like, hey, I know exactly how to get you to the next level. I got all the power now. I got all the power. So this is what I'm gonna tell you what to do. Like we all seen it on Making the Band, right?
Oh yeah.
You're gonna walk across New York City and give me some
Bring me a
cheesecake. Like,
cheesecake.
yeah, and then you think about all the trauma they went through, right? The Danity Canes, the what's the
Mhm.
boy group name was?
Day
Day
26.
26. Like you think about like the stuff they've been talking about within the last year. All that
Oh
trauma,
yeah.
all that stuff becoming normalized, and then they feel like it's loyalty almost to a certain extent. Little
Yeah.
Penny answered it. He said he thinks it's masked as
Masses
loyalty.
loyalty. Mm. I think that when people get in positions of power as R. Kelly and as Diddy, that they use that to, I hate to say it, advantage when it comes to people who's seeking stardom. Because a lot of young artists, a lot of young entertainers, or people who want to be in those positions will do almost anything to get in those, to get into on the inside of the entertainment industry to put themselves out there in that way. It's unheard of a lot of times to make your own way. You got to know who you got to know to get in where you got to get in. And unfortunately, with these music industry gurus and people, these major producers like um, Dallas Austin and Diddy and R. Kelly and I can't remember, was it Devontae? It was somebody in that group that held camps where Missy came in, and and all those people in the industry, they went through these camps where they were in these places, and all they did was write songs all day long. All they did was sing all day long, and they had to so much of prove their loyalty to that person who was already in the business. And it's artist, they called it artist development, but I think it was much more than that.
Yeah.
So it's and in that way they are grooming those people who do want to be in the entertainment industry. um so it's, Muriel said he's a predator.
So I want us to look at this as well, because I think this is a very good thing. So I'm gonna pull this up on the screen for y'all, right? Because
Mhm.
I think this stuff creates a very deep conversation, right? Because a lot of times we don't get the opportunity to like really break things down or talk about them, right? So let's say, you know, of course now we know he's a predator, right? But let's think that we didn't know what just came out about Diddy.
Mhm.
And then you take someone who desired so much fame, they wanted so much attention, right? So up here, what I asked was, what is a predator versus an opportunist, right? So it starts giving you like the separations of the two. But the thing that starts to stand out, it says a simple way to explain it is an opportunity sees an open door and walks through it. A predator unlocks the door, invites you inside, and closes it behind you.
Mm.
But let's say you take away the word a predator, right? And you just read that as this person unlocks doors, invites you inside, and closes it behind you. That almost would sound like that go-getter, that hustler, that person that they're not looking for an opportunity, they're creating it.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? Like
Words mean everything. You know,
word
words
mean
have
yeah, word
a
means
meaning.
everything. Once we give it a title, it changes the outcome of it. But we
Mm.
hear every day people sounding more like a predator than an opportunist. We just now, and then it says in context of grooming, an opportunist might notice someone is lonely, ambitious, or vulnerable and decide to benefit from that situation. But then it says a predator often spends time identifying your vulnerability, building trust, lowering boundaries, and creating dependence. Grooming is one of the tools a predator may use. And I think that word may use is very important because when you go back up to an opportunist, it says might notice someone is lonely. So that doesn't mean that person didn't spend time with you to identify that your vulnerability is your loneliness. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the difference in just wordplay there. Like opportunists might notice someone is lonely. Yeah, but it says a predator often spends time identifying their vulnerability. Who's to say the opportunist didn't spend time identifying your vulnerability of you being lonely from a distance?
Did we talk about this last night? Does predator and grooming go hand in hand?
I think we started to like discuss it, but
Okay.
that was going to be the finale series of
Because
like
like,
yeah.
can you put groomer in the place of a groomer often spends time identifying vulnerability, building trust, lowering boundaries, and creating dependence. That's what a groomer does.
Yeah.
So, but it says
See,
grooming is one of the tools a predator may use. So, yeah.
so it's very unique, right? When you start to like really do the word play, it's almost like could a predator initially come off as an opportunist and then over time build all these things that they figured out about you and then now become more predatorial over you, but it all initiated by becoming the opportunist. Like they took the opportunity to become the predator, become more predatorial over you.
Mm.
I don't know.
It's a good conversation.
I don't know.
Good conversation.
Like it's like I don't know.
Miles said Diddy did more than groom. He did drugs and essay. Time said it's funny how Usher Justin Bieber wasn't in that case that Diddy had.
Yeah, they wouldn't say nothing.
Mm-mm. Penny said got to pay to play, and after you're in, you have to protect the system.
Mm.
Time said I think it's all the above. Lucky Charm, Diddy was doing it all. The answer is trauma bonding, grooming. Lucky Charm was doing it all. Penny said it's the same psychological effects of hazing, break you down to reinvent you. Same breakdown, we the same now.
Yeah, hazing is big. That's a big one, Little Penny. You got to go back and watch a lot of our old. So we talked about this a lot when the
Mm-hmm.
gentleman passed away in Louisiana at the college at Southern University, and Ricky Smiley and them. So yeah, we with the cues and stuff. We talked about that a while back.
Mm-hmm. Penny said it isn't our fault for glorifying and valuing the grown and sexy culture, making it our version of success, which makes it what children aspire to do.
That's going to be part 3, Penny, about
Mm.
how our and we're gonna the last segment tonight is gonna kind of start veering us there,
Mhm.
but our cultures can sometimes start to groom what we aspire to be. So there's probably a lot of young ladies wanting to be young Miami.
Mm. Penny said the closing it behind you gate is keeping to make it.
Exclusive. That is true.
Mhm. Penny said the rare opportunity.
Yeah.
Muriel said, facts, this is wild. I never thought about how much grooming there is in the world and that there is good grooming and bad grooming.
Yeah. That's what I
Mhm.
said. It's like all this stuff matters. Like that's why I said like when I and I like to talk about these things, and I know Rain enjoys it too. Like
Mhm.
it kind of shows you why I don't so quickly jump on sides. Like I try to really see what this all may consist of. Like we give people titles so quickly today, and man, it damages people long term.
Mhm.
It damages them long term. Sometimes we need to see what a person's really about.
Yeah. Miles said essentially the same word, different connotations.
Thank you, Miles. Thank you, Miles.
Mm-hmm. Penny said opportunist is more based on solo growth and expectations, and grooming is more using others to grow.
Okay.
He said manipulation.
That's the ultimate key. That's the ultimate key.
Yeah.
Man, good